This is my 21.4 Ergogenic Aids assignment for applied physiology. I'm going to look at 6 aids and examine the advantages and disadvantages of using them. So, ergogenic aids is defined as they enhance performance. Some can be legal, some can be illegal. And I'm just here going to look at the positives and negatives of using each one out of the 6 that I've chosen. There are 2 organisations. One is WADA or WADA, and the other one is UKAD. WADA stands for World Anti-Doping Agency, and their aim is to create a drug-free sporting environment so that all athletes have like level playing fields. No one's got more enhancement than the other. So that doesn't mean that the person who uses a better enhancement isn't necessarily win. They try and make sure that everyone's on the same sort of position or same sort of level. And UKAD, this stands for United Kingdom Anti-Doping, and they look to protect the right to participate in drug-clean sporting. So like different environments that perhaps may have drugs in and some that don't, and then if they compete in the same competition, then one team's going to be enhanced more than the other, and it doesn't quite become fair. There are 5 different types of aids. So you've got the mechanical aids, pharmacological aids, psychological aids, nutritional aids, psychological aids, and yeah, they're the 5. So under mechanical, you could have bowling machine, endless pool, or rollers. For pharmacological, you have steroids, caffeine, and HGH, human growth hormone. Physiological, you've got blood doping, and altitude training, and EPO. Then for nutritional aids, you've got protein supplements, sports drinks, carbo loading. And then finally psychological, you've got meditation, relaxation, and listening to music. I'm just going to look at 6 of those ones I've just read out, and just look at them in a bit more detail, basically to give you a bit of an insight as to what ones are good and what ones are bad. So the first one that we're going to look at is the endless pool. It's basically a swimming pool that has a jet at one end. As you can see, it's the metal container on the left hand side of the picture. This blows out at different paces. You can set it as to how fast you want it to blow out, and you basically swim against it, so it's working all muscles in your body, and it's kind of pushing you to your max level of swimming power, I suppose is the best way to say it. I mean, some of the advantages are that it's easy to use because you literally just get in and it's like swimming. So it's pretty simple, and it's also legal. There's no, this isn't an illegal aid, it's quite simple, so a lot of people have access to it, although some of the disadvantages are it is very expensive. It can cost a lot of money to have one of these fitted in, so I guess some places that wouldn't be able to get hold of this is like places in Africa where they do struggle to even have water, and money wise, I mean, this is just going to be really hard for them to get hold of, so obviously they're going to be at a disadvantage if it comes to a swimming event. Also, someone that may be a bit younger who doesn't have access to it but shows potential may not be able to use this, so they may have to just stick with this the standard swimming pool, whereas someone who is wealthy but young might have access to this, so they're going to have that enhancement, whereas someone else may not, which means that the person who has the enhancement may become the elite athlete if it was like a decision between the 2. The next aid is steroids. They are an illegal substance that people do take to enhance their performance. It's quite often found in a lot of these elite athletes, but they do try and disguise it and hide the fact that they use it, as it is an illegal substance. The advantages are that it gives you the upper hand on someone that may not use this. It does sometimes show quite a significant difference in both build and stamina in different cases it is used. Obviously someone that doesn't use it, their like scores and their times are going to be a lot more reliable than someone who does use this, because obviously they've got that enhancement there. It may not affect them massively, but nobody knows unless obviously they take before and after while using steroids. Disadvantages are that it's expensive. It's very expensive to get hold of some of the pills and other ways that you can take it. You can see the two ways on the screen. It's both pills and injections, and it is of course illegal. So if you were to be found with something like this in your bloodstream, then you would be probably removed and stripped of any titles that you do have. The next aid is human growth hormone. It's quite similar to steroids, but it helps with muscle growth. So a lot of people, like bodybuilders and other athletes who need to have that bigger muscle tone, will use this. The advantages are that it does give you a greater muscle mass over a quicker period of time, as to going to the gym and doing like different repetitions and working on different muscle groups. This would just straight away put on give you more muscle tone. Obviously you'd still have to work out to get it, but you've got the HGH in your body without having to produce it via food. And then obviously disadvantages, it is illegal again, and it's also very expensive again, obviously, because it is an illegal substance, so people can sell it for a lot of money because it's not actually legal for elite athletes. Obviously if someone's just going down the gym to use it, it's still illegal, but they can use it without getting caught in on such a big stage as compared to an elite athlete who might try and use this. The fourth aid is altitude training. This one produces a high level of red blood cells in your body and also works on oxygen capacity in the lungs. So the mask you can see is just one way that you can do this. It goes on quite simply, very easy to use, and you just work and work and work, and it takes away some of the oxygen that you have in your atmosphere. So it acts as if you're doing it like training on a mountain, whereas you are actually still in a room. You're just not got as much oxygen present. You can also get things like oxygen chambers, where it's like an enclosed space, and you work in there. You could do cycling, running, all sorts of stuff, just to try and work on red blood cell production in the body and oxygen levels. Disadvantages: something as simple as that mask can cost up to £200. Sometimes it can go even more depending on where you buy it from and all sorts of things like that. So it's very expensive, and it does take quite a long time to get a noticeable difference to your performance. Obviously you're not going to be able to tell straight away if you've got more red blood cells in your body, because obviously it's impossible to see, but you'd be able to know from the times that you're producing if you're being able to get quicker and quicker and quicker at doing a certain marathon run, or for example something like that. It is quite a long process to be able to get a benefit from it, but it is quite easy, and it's also legal, so it makes it a lot better than, say, steroids or the HGH. The fifth aid is protein. This enhances growth of muscle in our body, so this is a better version of your HGH. This can come in both legal and illegal forms. The three across the bottom there, the nuts, the meats, and the fish and the egg and the milk, and also the whey protein, they're all legal. The whey protein comes in different forms, and sometimes you can get it in illegal ways, so you can get it as an injection, but the two on the middle and the left hand picture are both perfectly legal. They're just something that you can eat in your day-to-day life. That's why they're so easy to take and easy to do and easy to enhance your performance, although it does take a long period of time again, like the altitude training, but they are very simple to use as they're just day-to-day food that you can eat whenever. It does obviously come in many forms, which is also a positive, because it's not just one way, unlike the altitude training where you've just got to have that mask or the chamber. This you can get nuts, red meat, white meat, eggs, milk. You've got all sorts of different stuff just for one aid. So there's lots of ways you can approach this ergogenic aid. And the final aid is music. Music again comes in many different genres. This can be useful as it can cater for like many different situations. So whether you're trying to get in the zone before a football match, or whether you're trying to like get energetic, ready for a session in the gym. The advantages are that it does cater for many different situations. That is a key advantage, because not obviously if you want to get in the zone, you're not going to want to listen to something that's slow and classical. You're going to want to listen to something that's quite upbeat, singles you out and focuses you on a goal that you've set yourself. Also, it's very cheap and easy to do. All you've got to do is download some music onto an iPod, phone, tablet, whatever access you've got to something, and it's just there for you. Disadvantages: it can distract you while training or getting in the zone, obviously, because the lyrics and stuff like that can make you get off track and you can lose your rhythm or your focus or anything that you're perhaps doing or training for. And that's the end of the slide. Thank you very much.